guys, it's Maddie, and this is my final response to composition for fall 2020. So let's just get started. It's just incredible for me to look back and see how far we've come. Like, it's very cliche, but this semester has been so crazy, and it feels like a million years ago that we were manipulating those first phrases, and here we are, and we've made a 3-minute solo on someone else, and that's just amazing to me. That's something that at the beginning of the year I did not think I would be capable of, and we had a lot of time to do it in this last month or so, but yeah, I just did not think in September or August that that was something that I could be capable of. So yeah, it's cool to look back at the fears that I had and see the ways that I've either overcome them or even just learned how to work with them and not let them control my process. So a few of those fears that I had were being spontaneous and bold and showing work that isn't good. I put kind of all of it, but yeah, I don't really feel that way anymore, so that's exciting. I was definitely scared and intimidated from what I'd seen of comp my freshman year when we watched some of those classes. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can match that level of dynamics and all the amazing movement that I saw. I was like, I don't think I can do that. I don't think my style is good enough to present in that way. Yeah, I didn't think I was creative enough. I didn't think that I was able to communicate ideas that were worth it. Yeah, but something that I think stuck out to me the very most from this year was that making bad dances is okay. That really stuck with me. That how are you supposed to know what is how are you supposed to know what your best dance is if you don't make mistakes first? And I've always been a perfectionist. I've always been afraid of messing up or not doing it right the first time. I never write rough drafts of my papers. I just do it perfect from the beginning. But making bad dances is how you learn, and how are you gonna know if something might be feel really good on your body, or might be more of what you want your style to be, or a new favorite kind of music that you want to choreograph to if you don't try it first. So making bad dances has been really prominent in my mind this second half of the semester. Yeah, I was also worried about communicating my ideas clearly. I'm not a very good verbal communicator. I'm pretty awkward in that way. I wanted to make sure that my intentions were clear, and I wanted to learn how to alter those rough drafts of my dances in order to make the intention clearer or more emphasized or whatever. And I think that went okay. Again, I got very worked up over nothing. It was easier, I think, probably because I've been so comfortable with the girls that we've been dancing with. Our class is so it's just so wonderful to work with everyone in the class, so it made it easy to communicate. But yeah, I was able to get those intentions across, the little things, I don't know, just learning that it's not as hard as I think it is to just say what I want to say. I was worried about using improvisation to help me create. I was curious how I could use that more, because I used to be such a cut and dry, I'll write out my combination, and then I'll do my combination, and then I'll show it, and that'll be done. But for the last piece that we did, the majority of my process was sitting down in my room and improvising on my floor with my phone recording, just to see what would happen. And again, there was movement that came out of me that isn't necessarily my style, that I would have maybe proclaimed myself as previously, but that's how I pieced together the solo, was through improvisation. And again, it's just that idea of learning as a choreographer that it's okay to let go of things you don't like. It's okay to maybe do more movement than you need so that you can piece together and move it around. We talked about how it's okay to repeat phrases. I think I was worried to like have to come up with a new step for every count, but it's okay to bring themes back and take it back around and slow it down and speed it up, put it on the floor, all those modifications that we talked about in the beginning of the semester. Like, that's okay to use, it's encouraged to use. You don't want to overwhelm the audience with all this information and all these new movements and phrases. They're gonna get lost. So that was really interesting for me to learn about. Yes, let's see. One of the things that I've tried that was different to my tendencies in dancing while I was creating the piece on Susie, as well as just some of the previous works we did in the second half of the semester, was using my head, because in ballet and modern I tend to just stare at myself in the mirror and just look and not move my head at all, even though I should. So I was like, okay, Maddie, you need to focus on focus. So I was able to make focus a main player in my last piece, the phototrope piece. And that was a challenge for me because it's a part of the body that I don't really pay attention to that much. But something similar to my tendencies was using really big circular arm movements, because I know that's a part of my body that I'm very confident in, so I want to emphasize it. And it was really interesting to see how my tendencies showed up in Susie's dancing in the final piece, as well as how maybe something like a phrase that I would have danced a certain way, like it's the same steps, but she made it look so different. And it's been interesting to see how, as a choreographer, you can't expect your dancer to be exactly the way you are, but also you need to make sure that they're understanding your intention. So it's a fine balance between like letting them have their style and their interpretation of movement without losing what it is that you want them to portray. So that's been very cool. Yeah, it's just been awesome to see my work on other people. It's, again, not something that I anticipated I'd be proud of at the beginning of the semester. I thought that it would be difficult for me to put a piece on someone when I knew that the other girls in the class are so talented, and I was like, oh, mine's gonna be so lame compared to theirs, and they're gonna feel like it's too easy or something, that it's inadequate compared to everyone else's work. But no, we were just really proud of each other, and it was just incredible to see everyone just growing in confidence in themselves and in their style and trying new things. So yeah, it's just been a really great experience overall. So yeah, if I could go back to past Maddie in August, I'd say don't worry, make bad dances, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool to look back on these moments and these tools a couple years from now when we're working on junior project, senior project, and just life after Belhaven, to look back and see where we started and how I can allow myself to be creative and make mistakes. Just move with reckless abandon. I feel like that's something that I want to encourage myself to do, is not stay in my box. I love what I've made here, but I know I can branch out more. So yeah, it's just been very cool to see this journey and take it with everyone, and I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen next semester in Comp 2. So yes, thank you for listening. I will see you all later. Bye.